through the city like Brennan Schaub. I'm on a mission to get it all. Ride through the city like Brennan Schaub. If you ain't thick, please don't get involved.
And now, Brandon Thick Boy Schaub.
We are live. We'll do it live. F it, we'll do it live. What is up, fam? This is the first ever live episode of the Schaub Show here on YouTube. Thanks for tuning in, kiddos. The Thick Boy staff are a little on pins and needles, especially Casey. Chin's a little high-strung. Go live. Oh, wow, your glasses are missing a handle.
I know. It's my reading glasses. That's why.
Oh, gotcha.
I have my regular ones, but it's easier to see the computer with the reading glasses.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Might want to just tape the side. You lost it?
I ordered new ones. They're coming in.
All right, man. Before we get started, college football fans, it is time. There was a game this past weekend. You had Notre Dame playing in Dublin, Ireland against Navy, and they beat the brakes off of them. But that doesn't count because it just doesn't, right? So college football kicks off this freaking Thursday. You got Florida, Utah going down, and then Friday you got a bunch of games. Saturday you got the big boy. That's the official kickoff of the real season. My CU Buffs are taking on TCU. And listen, college football fans, are you ready for week one? DraftKings Sportsbook is hooking you up with a can't-miss offer to start the season strong. This week starts on Thursday. This week, new customers can bet just $5 on college football and score $200 in bonus bets instantly. Anything can happen in college football. Your team could go from unranked to dynasty mode in just a couple of years. Change comes fast, especially if you got Deion Sanders. Holler at the CU Buffs. The only thing that's a lock is the great offers from my friends at DraftKings Sportsbook. Life's more fun when you're in the action. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app right now. Use code SCHOPSHOW. Bet on my CU Buffs to beat TCU. TCU is ranked. CU is not. We will see what is up. You know that the freaking CU Buffs are going to come out strong. A lot of pressure on them. It gives me anxiety. But we have more transfers than any other team in Division I football. They are loaded with talent. You got Deion Sanders, the head coach. You got a good coaching staff. Boulder, stand up, show out for your team there in CU Boulder. All right, new customers can bet. All right, new customers can bet on my CU Buffs to beat TCU. You can score $200 in bonus bets instantly when they bet just $5 on college football. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook with the code SCHOPSHOW. The crown is yours. Go Buffs! This is where it gets dicey when you do reads. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Visit www.1800gambler.net. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available. For problem gambling, call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino Resort in Kansas, 21 plus, age varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. ccdkng.co/football for eligibility. Terms and responsible gaming resources. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. Eligibility and deposit restrictions apply. DraftKings, promo code SCHOPSHOW. Go Buffs. Boom. You were nervous about that, Jen, huh?
A little bit. It's all
Dude, when you got to read the red tape.
It is all good.
When you got to read the red tape, I want to get you going, man. All right, welcome, kiddos, to the Schaub Show live for the first time ever. Try not to cuss. All right, try not to cuss. You got to remember, I grew up like the Osbournes. If you remember the Osbournes reality show, my family's from England. They smoke, they cuss. It's what we did. So it's ingrained in my DNA, but I will do my best not to cuss on these live ones. Apparently that's frowned upon on here. So we're doing our best. Fun little weekend with the fam. The kids are going back to school this week, so it was a fun-filled weekend. You had Disneyland. This is in the 4-day grace period here. You had Disneyland, Monster Jam, and then we ended the weekend. Really, it was just me and the oldest T. Me and Tiger ended Sunday yesterday at Mario Land. Mario Land, a lot of hype. You know, I grew up playing Mario. The Mario game, the Mario ride at Universal, a little overrated. I'm not gonna lie to you, a little overrated. You're in the machine's cool, but that's a giant Homer Simpson donut after the Simpsons ride. I'm pretty sure he pooped his pants after that, so that's cool. But yeah, the Mario ride compared to like the Mummy, Jurassic Park, even the Simpsons, the production's dope. Like the set's dope. You're like in actual Mario Land, and they have like the moving plants and Bowser and all that stuff. But the actual ride let me down a little bit. Not gonna lie to you, let me down.
Why?
Because it's supposed to be Mario Kart, but so I figured you drive your own, like shoot the shells, like the game. But it's 4 people in a cart, so you're with people you don't know. You have a helmet on with goggles, so it's like VR, and then it's all like VR. Like it's not better than the Oculus that you get at Facebook, that Facebook makes. Like it's the same thing as that, not as fun. I don't know. It's out of all their major rides, The Mummy, Transformers, Jurassic Park, and even the Harry Potter ride. It's out of all of them, it's probably the worst one. I can lie to you guys. It's disappointing. Even my son was like, "Yeah." I was like, We went on it twice, and then I was like, "Is that your favorite?" He's like, "No, Mummy's my favorite." So we went on Mummy a lot, which that makes me sick. But got to be a dad, so I had to go on and try not to throw up. Let's get into the fighting, though. And let's get into college football because my CU Buffs play this freaking Saturday against TCU. Come out hot. The expectations on them give me anxiety. Everyone, listen, if you're a CU Buff fan, you follow college football, be cool, man. Be cool. I know they have the most transfers out of any other college football team. They're stacked. They have the right coaching staff, right? And there's all this hype. They've sold out damn near every game. They sold out the spring game. Their jerseys, the merch is selling. The home tickets are selling. They're selling on the road, all this stuff. Remember, they won 1 game last year. 1 game. If Deion wins 5, that'd be a significant improvement. So if they start off 2-2, they start off 3-1, whatever, be cool, man. The expectations on these kids are insane. Insane. Now, Deion brought it upon himself. But I think we need to be realistic. Are they going to be a top 10 team? Probably. If they are, oh my God, that'd be the biggest turnaround in college football history. That'd be great. But be cool, everybody. If they have a competitive game against TCU, that's improvement. That's where I'm at. We got expectations here. Be cool. Now, hopefully, CU puts up a better fight than our boy Korean Zombie put up against Max Holloway.
He did.
I'm not your guy. Chin.
He did well, man.
He did well.
It
was very, if you're going to go out on your shield, it's very Korean Zombie. Yeah. He went kamikaze pilot in that 3rd round.
He really did, man.
Because the first 2 rounds, he landed some good shots. He landed a really good hook on Max Holloway. Shows you Max Holloway's chin. Obviously, Max Holloway dealing with a lot with the fires out there in Maui in his home state of Hawaii. So heavy heart for Max Holloway going into the fight. Significant favorite for good reason. It's insane the career these two have had that they've never crossed paths till now. It sucks for Korean Zombie. Obviously, he's on the, on the back 9 of his life. When I say back 9, he's on hole 18.
But all the fights he gave us, it was
Golf
such
reference.
It was such a beautiful thing. The audience, how much they cared, how much they loved him.
What's weird,
insane.
and you'll see this, like if you watch One Championship, if you watch a lot of Asian kind of fights, right? So even the Pride Days in One Championship, Rising, the crowds aren't as crunk as American or European crowds. They're just not. They're more calculated, they're more reserved, they're more students of the game. They enjoy jiu-jitsu, they enjoy the ground game, they see the sweet science with all of it. It's rare they boo. They don't really boo people. That's not what they do. They're good people. They're good, respectable people. You're not going to hear rip his hat off. You're not going to hear punch or twist his wiener off, stuff like that. Not in the Asian crowds, because they're respectable people. You're not going to see a lot of tap out shirts. You're just not. But so when I did watch most of the card, I probably started off. I started off probably at the Billy Goff fight, so I missed the JJ Aldrich fight. But I started with Billy, so it started pretty sweet with that TKO in the first round. So I started there, which was early, but I'm always up early, so I didn't mind it. The early cards are nice. But the rest of the card, I was like, oh, man, this crowd doesn't seem too into it. Slower fights. There's been some good ones. The prelims were pretty lit. And then we get into the main card. Junior Taffa had that good knockout. And then you got decision. The Aaron Blanchfield fight. I hear people saying, oh, Aaron Blanchfield deserves a title shot after this. She's won 6 in a row. We want to see her against the winner of Alexa Grasso and Shevchenko. Can you give someone a title, even though they've won 6 in a row, can you give them a title shot after a performance like that? Didn't land a single takedown. Would she go 0 for 14 on takedown, something like that? she's won a ton in a row, so I get her resume, but she's you don't want to knock her for this. But usually when people get title shots, and she's undeniable at this point, especially winning that many in a row. And she had, those huge wins over Meatball. She submitted her, which was rude because we root for Meatball here. What she did, Jessica Andrade, super impressive in the second round with the submission there. She got performance of the night. And against Santos, she just couldn't land a takedown. I think it was a good learning experience for her. She went all the rounds, kind of down on scorecards, I thought, there for a second. You look at the division, I could see it. But usually you want some impressive performance, a finish or something like that in order to get the title shot. But she might be undeniable at this point. And you look at the rest of the division. But my point is it was just the crowd. I think it was a little, granted it was early. It was a little boring for us here. It was boring for the crowd. Obviously they're not going to boo. So after that fight with Aaron, then you had another decision. The Giga Alex fight was entertaining. Alex, did you know he broke his arm in the first round defending the kick?
Yeah.
So that obviously he was compromised there. And then with the co-main event, Anthony Smith, Ryan Spann, the rematch there with Anthony Smith starched them the first time they fought. I guess this one made sense. I thought Anthony Smith, what do you say, he's 38? Definitely looked a little older, but great win for him. Did you have him winning, Chin? Did you have Anthony? This one was controversial.
So, dude, Anthony Smith is 35. I didn't know he was that young.
I thought he's 38.
No, I thought it was.
I mean,
honestly,
he has over 50 fights.
He has
That's all of them. His 55 fights, for God's sake.
Yeah, I thought if anything, a draw. To me, he was amazing in the first round.
They don't do enough draws. They just don't give enough draws.
Yeah,
I'm okay with the draw. So he's won, what was that, 1, 2, 3, 4 out of his last 6. He lost 2 in a row before this, lost to Johnny Walker, lost to Magomed. Obviously, his ankle fell off in that one. His last win was Ryan Spann, which was in 2021. He kind of beat the brakes off in that first round. I could see it going either way. I'm not too upset about it. Mm-hmm. I thought the judges were going to lean towards Spann, but obviously I'm a huge Anthony Smith fan, so I'm glad Anthony got the win there. Anthony Smith, I don't know if you have in the current events, Anthony Smith and Alex Pereira have some issues.
Yeah.
We'll get to that. But Anthony Smith versus Alex would be a fun fight. I don't know if they're going to do that next, even though Anthony's coming off a win for Pereira. I mean, the year he fights, I don't see Anthony Smith and Alex fight next. It's Yuri, Alex, or bust. What are we doing?
Please,
there?
yes.
Yeah, that's
please.
the fight we all want.
Yeah.
But for Max Holloway, Korean Zombie, I don't think Max Holloway hasn't had a knockout since 2018. But yeah, this was the matchup. If you're going to get a knockout, this would be the one. Korean Zombie was doing well. It didn't look bad. It didn't look like a guy, there's guys like when you see Tony Ferguson, you see the BJ Penns of the world, Diego Sanchez, when they're at that point in their career, you're like, oh, this is a nightmare. They just look completely off. I thought Korean Zombie looked pretty damn good. Pretty damn good, especially for going out on a shield. First two, and he would definitely have the flashes of the old Korean Zombie, would sit there and bang, and him and Max would go at it. Max just a little quicker, a little more calculated, a little more technical, would always win in the exchanges. And then in the third round, I don't know if there's some button they push in the corner or what, but they're like, it's time to go zombie mode. It's time to go zombie mode.
I think Zombie pushed that button. He was like, this is it.
He's like, I'm gonna knock him out or get knocked out.
And it was beautiful to watch.
It was. That's how it should go for him.
Yeah.
He went off in a shield. How great of an intro was that when the zombie?
Oh my god! And
when he was walking out,
yelling it out,
he's
so
just
loud.
like this.
Oh my god!
And he gets in there, and I was like, "Oh, that's lit." And the crowd, the energy definitely went up in the arena.
Mm-hmm.
And then when he lost, you're like, "Oh, this is a." I mean, I'm a huge Max Holloway fan. Everyone expect him, including the odds maker, expect him to win. Gets the walk-off home run, KO, right? And then, it was about Max for a little bit. He was talking about Hawaii and donating money and raising money, which God bless him.
Yeah, God bless them.
And then it went over to Korean Zombie, and the crowd just what a send off for the UFC, and they're doing it right now.
Yes,
they've read the comments. They've seen how much backlash they've got. Just whether it's Frank Yeager, whoever it is, these guys, when it's their last fight and they're just not giving proper send off, fans don't like that. You owe it to them. So they did a great job with Robbie Lawler, that video they had for him. And then with Zombie, man, that was special.
Yeah.
And is that his girl who came to him?
Yeah,
at
that's his wife.
She's cute, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's
They're
crying.
Adorable couple, yeah.
Yeah,
She does not seem like someone that would date or be with a fighter. She seems so innocent.
Yeah.
So that must be super tough for her to be with him and to see all that stuff happen.
See how much Korean Zombie gear was in the crowd too?
Dude.
I mean, we rocked it all the time, man.
Yes. As long as it
Was
as
it-
long as we could.
As long as we could.
Yeah, because it was kind of like
It's heavy.
it's heavy.
Well, I had the original one.
Yeah, the original.
It was by Try Something used to make it.
Oh, yeah, the very first
The very
ones.
first one,
Okay.
that was my favorite all time.
Tricosta, I think?
Tricosta.
Tricosta, yeah.
I used to wear. I wear at UFC Expo in Boston. I wore that Korean Zombie shirt all the time. It's my favorite shirt. I don't know what happened to it.
Apparently they didn't pay him well for
My
it or
girl
something.
probably gave it away. This is my favorite shirt.
Yeah.
And then Korean Zombie, he knows we're fans.
Jay Park
sent us a bunch of gear, and it was the heaviest,
Yeah.
most thick gear you've ever seen. You couldn't wear it today. It's supposed to be 105. You couldn't wear it today.
It looked amazing.
It was
though.
bulletproof.
Yeah, it's Kevlar.
It was Kevlar. It was bulletproof. You just
It
couldn't-
looked great though.
Yeah. Yeah, it looked good. I mean, it was same design as it was always, but yeah, they need to switch up the merch
Yeah,
there.
just the material.
Yeah, but for what's next for Korean Zombie, it's over, right? So he's done, and then for Max Holloway, he's in quite the predicament. He's in quite the pickle here because he's beat everybody in that division who's a contender in the top. Was that top 5 there? So top 4. He's beat everybody, right? So he beat Arnold Allen. He just beat him, who's a raging contender. He's beat Ortega. He's beat Yair Rodriguez, and then he's number 1. Obviously, a 4th fight with Volkanovski. Man, 4th fight's tough sell.
But he did win one. Honestly, he did win one. He didn't get the actual win, but he did win one.
I know, but the argument there would be the last one that they did.
That was pretty
Volkanovski
crazy,
really
yeah.
dominated.
Yeah.
That one, he made it clear, which is what he needed to do when he's on food truck. That's why I told him. I said, listen, I know you beat him twice technically, but you got to get over the Max Holloway hump in order to become the on-crown champion. You got to. And that's what he did. So a 4th fight I think is tough. 4th fight's tough, not to mention Ilya Topuria is going to get the next shot at the champ there in Volkanovski. So that's not even announced yet, so he's going to have to wait for that, which I don't think he minds. He said he doesn't mind beating up the contenders either. He doesn't mind at all beating up the contenders. Most of at 10, probably the next guy. But for Max, you're number 1. You want to fight the number 10 guy? I don't see much of an upside, and you're just waiting. What the best case scenario for Max? There's two. What I think there's 2 options. If I'm his management this morning, we're looking at this. You're going, all right. Volkanovski and Ilya Topuria is next. We need Topuria to win. If Topuria wins, then you would fight Ilya. That's a fight. I'd love that fight.
Yeah.
That's an amazing fight. Chance of Topuria winning, not good. So what if Volkanovski is who he says he is, he probably beats the shit out of Topuria, right? So you're probably not getting the UFC probably not do a 4th fight for you. So do we take 6 to 8 months, put on a little bit of weight, and go and remember Max Holloway's older now too. Do we go up to 55? There's fun matchups at 55. Now, as you're listening, you're like, dude, we saw that. Remember he fought Dustin Poirier? He would land a lot, but Poirier just hit harder, so it didn't work out for Max. I get that. But he didn't technically have enough time to put on the size and weight. I'm talking Jon Jones style. Not 2-3 years, but 8 months, 12 months. Take your time, put on the weight, see how you feel, and then really make a run at 55. Makhachev's a problem for anybody. But there's some fights there. Justin Gaethje would be fun. I'd watch Poirier again. Dariush is a good one. Chandler's a good one. You wouldn't watch Max Holloway versus Fiziev?
That'd be beautiful.
Phenomenal fight. I just think there's more upside, and you're not at his age, and all the fights he's been in, you're not coming down to 45, 55. It's not like he's a small 45er. So I think if you took the time, you get the right team around you, he could have a lot of success at 55. Is he gonna become champ? Makhachev's a nightmare for anybody. But there's some fun fights with Charles Oliveira there at 55, Justin Gaethje, Dustin Poirier again, Dariush is fun, Chandler, Fiziev. Those are top 6. Big names, big fights. Or you hang out at 45. You hope Topuria wins, which most likely he's not going to. If he does, all good. Forget this 55 talk. But you can fight Topuria if he beats Volkanovski. It's a big if. And if you don't want to do any of that, you can stick around and fight the young contenders coming up. We saw what he did to Arnold Allen. That fight wasn't close. For the UFC, it's not good either. If he just sits around and beats up these young lions who are kind of the next wave of that division, you don't want Max Holloway to just sit around and be this gatekeeper. He's going to beat all of them. And then you got to hope eventually somebody beats Alex Volkanovski, which they're not going to. So he's in a weird spot. Oh, I ran into Jon Jones.
Oh, yeah? I saw the pic.
I haven't been in studio since I ran into Jon Jones. Ran into Jon Jones. So John and I were at the JW Marriott in downtown L.A. So he's sponsored by Monster. I'm sponsored by Reign, Body Fuel. Both energy drinks, right? And so Monster owns Reign. So they have once a year, they do their annual sales meeting. So just so you know, I didn't know this either. Monster's a $60 billion company. $60 billion company. So they have 5,000 nationwide, there's people all over it, worldwide sales team. So they fly in all 5,000 people to one location, usually it's in Vegas. This year they did in LA. And then they have keynote speakers, they have appearances for all the employees. So that's why me and John were there. They brought me, John, a bunch of other talent that they have on the roster. Me and John ran each other. I haven't seen John a hot second. And we're in the lobby, and he grabs me. I didn't see him. He grabbed me and shot for a single leg. But, yeah, I absolutely loved it. And, dude, he's in shape. He's lost weight.
Oh, really?
He's lean, mean.
You saw him in person.
Fight machine. Yeah, dude. Because that's why I told him. I said, dude, you look freaking phenomenal. Like, he's just more trim. He's doing the opposite of what Stipe's doing. So Stipe's putting on weight, to compete against John, and I think it's a mistake. But and John's going down. He's getting more lean, more trim. He's gonna let his skill set do the talking there. But it's good to see him, man. I told him. I said, I said this on the show multiple times. I said, do you remember what you did to the heavyweights? And again, I don't name the names. That's their stories to tell. But there's 5 heavyweights in the gym.
Oh, in training.
2 of them were on cocaine. They're impossible to beat up. And then 3 of us were, at the time, ranked in the top 10 in the world. And we would do Shark Tank rounds. So John stays in there to get ready for the fight. And he hits a fresh guy every round. It's called the Shark Tank. And it would be 5 heavyweights, 5 rounds, because he's getting ready for a title fight. And he'd beat the brakes off all of us. Not even close. Not even close.
Man.
That's I was like, I knew when you were going to heavyweight, I'm like, he's always been training with heavyweights. He was too good to train with anybody not at heavyweight. So he needed the challenge, and he would mop the floor with us. So now what he's doing at heavyweight, it's not surprising. I've always said this. He's an absolute monster. Asked him about his retirement. If he beats Stipe in New York, his hometown, if he can retire. Seems like it.
Interesting.
Seems like it. But yeah, it was good to see him, man. He's such a beast. What do you got for me, Chin?
First, before we go to current events, how about some Happy Hippo?
You want some Happy Hippo? You want some Happy Hippo to get your mind right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's get everybody's mind right with a little Happy Hippo to help you get that brain right. All right. I use this product for every show that I do. Any podcast, I do a million podcasts. Any stand-up, I'm always using Happy Hippo. However you want to get your stuff. They even have K-Dips. This is Kratom in dip form. This is wintergreen. They have the Razzle Dazzle, 20 milligrams of pure Kratom in each pouch. I love them. They got the high concentrated sour apple shots, which I love too. They got gummies. They got powders. However you want to get your freaking Happy Hippo into that brain, we got you covered. It gives you that nice warm balance, good mood feeling. Get your brain fired up for the day. All right. This is my hidden gem. If you go to happyhippo.com, promo code Thiccc, that's THI 3 C's 23, you save 20% off for life. Share it with a friend, Uber driver, Postmates, Uber, whatever it is, UPS guy. You all get 20% off for life when you use the promo code Thiccc23 at happyhippo.com. Let's get back to the program. I usually have to always say that, but now we're live. You're seeing it live.
Yeah.
We'll go live. F it. We'll do it live.
So this is just a post from the Korean Zombie after the fight. That's his wife in the background. He's in the hospital. So he basically just said that he hasn't achieved. He wanted to be champion, right? That's his whole goal.
But
he wasn't
he
able
had a
to do
shot,
it.
though. Good career, though, man.
Yeah, so he was like,
You don't want to hang your head on that stuff.
dude, I would want this type of like
Career?
career.
If when Zombie was a kid, we're like, hey, man, you fight Jose Aldo, right? You have this ridiculous career. You can pull off a twister. You're going to fight Jose Aldo. You're going to fight Alexander Volkanovski for the title at UFC. You're not going to win, but still, you're right there. And you list all the guys that he's fought, all the big wins, the knockouts, the merch, becoming a fan favorite. He must be massive in Korea.
Massive in Korea and just in Asia, even just all of Asia.
Massive.
He's super
So
popular.
this from
He's
Korean
just
Zombie.
very
This
beloved.
is from his Instagram. He put, I haven't achieved everything, but I've achieved enough. And wanting more in my head is like greed, so I'm trying to stop. Translated through Google, so bear with us. This is how I talk in general, whatever. I feel like I've received undeserved love compared to what I've done, so I'm grateful to everyone. Now, I don't think I will live a life of, I was about to say, I thought he said, I feel like I'm not going to live a long life. I'm like, okay, it's getting dark. Dude. No, this is getting really dark. I will live a life of being judged and compared anymore, so I feel free, relieved, and scared. I understand that to the fullest, buddy. In the meantime, thanks so much for loving Korean Zombie. I was really, really happy while fighting the UFC. Thank you, UFC, Sean Shelby, Dana White, for letting me live this life. It was an honor for Max Holloway to be my last fight opponent. Let's greet each other with a bright smile someday. #N.
Yeah.
His
That was
wife
beautiful.
is the prototype. She's all, she's all shy, huh?
Yeah, and then Max posted about him too, which I thought was super awesome of him.
This is what I love about Max. So we live
what
in
a
this,
great dude.
the best,
Yeah.
the best. He's a champion through and through. So is Volkanovski. There's certain guys in the UFC now. Don't get me wrong. For what I do, especially this job, like, you know, with news and current events and breaking news, stuff like that. And there's the Logan Pauls and Dylan Dennis's and the Sean Stricklands and, you know, these people that talk all this stuff and that toxic environment that social media encourages, and this very toxic world we live in with its YouTube comments or Instagram comments or Twitter comments, and people get attention from being negative. There's guys like Max Holloway. There's guys like Korean Zombie. There's guys like Alexander Volkanovski. There's guys like this that exist who don't do that stuff. Yeah. They don't subscribe to it. And they still have huge names, sell a lot of merch. People pay for their pay-per-views. They're still, you know, big names in the sport without going that direction. It's so rare. Unfortunately, it's so rare. So rare, you know?
It's a very beautiful thing, though.
It's cool that still exists.
Yeah. So yeah, he basically just said, you know, he's
one honor to share the octagon with you, Korean Zombie, the man, the myth, the legend. Watching throughout the years, how you carry yourself in the fight world with humility and respect, like a true martial artist. The OGs of WC and UFC. None of these circus acts. There you go. Mm-hmm. None of these circus acts. You're the last of a dying breed. Boy, is he right. Thank you for paving the way. Enjoy your retirement. Looking forward to your first singing album.
He does sing pretty well, dude.
Oh, he sings too?
Yeah, he sings. We can't play any videos of it, but he does sing pretty damn well.
It's like Americans go from fighting to YouTube and like these weird like fights, and Koreans go into singing.
Yeah, dude.
If you can, why can so many Koreans sing?
Dude, I don't know. So Koreans and Filipinos, of all the Asians, they're like, to me, the best singers of the Asian people.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah. So that's super cool to see, man.
But he's right, last of a dying breed. It's just now these days, if you want attention, you talk the most toxic stuff, and you create all this weird toxic hype and hate, and it gets attention. So of course I get it. These young kids are like, yeah, that's what we got to do, you know.
And I think the tension is kind of short-lived when they do the bad stuff, but this kind of attention is long-lasting forever. I'll always like respect these guys and you know, dude, cherish all the stuff that Zombie's done, and Max too. Like,
don't say cherish. Really. Yeah, don't say cherish.
I knew as soon as I said it, you're gonna give me shit, dude.
Yeah, don't say.
Don't
have tears in
I
your
always
eyes
enjoy.
and say cherish.
I told you we were on our group chat with the fights. I was like, "This is such a beautiful thing. This is so amazing."
Yeah, I just thought you were being a little gay because you were camping and drinking. I was I'll let Chin have this.
A little bit more in the emotions. We have some sips, but yeah,
it
was beautiful.
It was 7 a.m. and you were drinking. So I let that go to the group chat. I was like, oh, Chin's in his feelings right now. Chin's like, we should all cherish this moment, man. I was like, murder these fish and drink 7 shots of whiskey, man. This is such a good warm
If you're
feeling.
camping, sip it up, man.
You just went with the boys, huh?
Just one of my buddies, yeah.
Yeah,
it's cool.
man. Hell yeah.
So this kind of made headlines recently. So Conor McGregor screenshot this, and apparently, so there's other media outlets that covered this and showed this too. So this was apparently on like the landing page of UFC Fight Pass.
But why would the UFC announce this on Fight Pass?
I don't know. That's why I don't even know how where you even find this.
I
But
feel
it
like
says-
some employee really messed up.
which happens. It does happen. So
yeah, because remember they announced that one fight on the T-Mobile
Jones
Arena.
and Cyril Gahn.
Jones
Yeah.
and Cyril, yeah.
yeah.
Someone
So-
got fired.
So it
Or
says
hit.
UFC 296 Chandler versus McGregor, 9 p.m. Saturday, December 16th. And then it shows like the days, hours,
It
minutes,
actually
and
has
seconds.
a countdown. It looks
Yeah.
official.
And Conor retweeted it or posted it.
Conor blasted it out, but the UFC hasn't said anything.
Nah.
I don't see. I bet, and Conor, does his thing to beat of his own drum. So that's why if it was anybody else, like, this is garbage. But when it's Conor, they can't do anything to him. There's no repercussions. This guy clearly does whatever he wants. So usually, like, hey man, let's be the first to announce. He's like, say less. Posted. And it's weird. It was on Fight Pass. It makes sense that they're doing it. I think it's gonna. I'm conflicted because a lot of it, it's like, does McGregor fight again? Like if you saw Darren Till, he's like, he's never fighting again. This guy's off his rocker. He's never fighting again. Hopefully he does, but I like to think it's gonna happen. It has to be Chandler. Casey's the biggest McGregor fan, and you and I are 1A, 1B McGregor fans. You think there's truth to it? I think it's going down. Yeah, 100%.
So Casey says yes.
I say yes.
You say yes, and Casey says yes.
My initial reaction was like, no, it's.
But this year, December.
I think so. That was the plan, right?
And he does get his way, so.
There's nobody more powerful in the UFC if that's what he wants to do. And when he came out with the comments with those voice notes too, he's the only guy who can make moves like this.
Yeah.
When he says jump, the UFC says how high, sir. He's the only guy.
And we all want to watch it, so.
I don't. Testing, steroids,
Who
cocaine,
cares, man?
one leg. Dude, get him in there. Sign me up. Take my money.
All right. A quick little boxing one. So, Alexander Usyk fought Daniel Dubois over the weekend, and then there's controversy. Even though he won
low
by
blow?
knockout. Yeah, the low blow. And I'll show you the picture here. I think this is his coach or manager that posted this, or he was in the post-fight press conference and he showed this picture, and he's like, "Hey, so what is considered a legal shot?" And apparently, if it's under, if it's hitting the shorts under that waistband, whatever, even though it doesn't really hit his dick so much.
Wiener? Say wiener.
Maybe the top of his wiener, yeah.
Yeah.
It probably does graze the top of his wiener, but it's still considered a low blow. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's still considered a low blow, so he should still.
Depends how big that Ukrainian wiener is, though, right?
I mean, if it's like high up near his belly or something.
Yeah, it's on the belt line. Yeah, I don't know. It looks.
But I mean, this is, I guess in boxing, this is considered a low blow regardless. Even if it's his stomach,
Yeah.
it's underneath that waistband thing and on the shorts. So that's what his coach or whatever is saying.
And
So Dubois is going to appeal the decision.
nah, that never works. Also, you're never going to beat that guy. But also, did you see when Fury jumped to the ring, started talking trash to Usyk, and Usyk's just staring through his soul?
No,
Did you
I
see
didn't
that?
no.
Fury's like, yeah, just doing what Fury does best, just real gift of the gab
Yeah.
there, just going. Usyk's just staring through his soul. He's like, dude, my country's at war. He's just such a savage. Such a savage. It'd be heartbreaking if we don't get Usyk versus Fury. You guys know this. Well documented. Fury's my favorite combat sports athlete of all time. That Usyk fight is a tough one.
Yeah.
Even Usyk's haircut's gangster. Good God. You think Usyk would ever wear a freaking hat like this?
I think he would. Actually,
I don't know, dude.
If
Look
he has
at
that kind of haircut, I think he would.
Are you talking about that apocalypto Ukrainian haircut?
Yeah.
He's just
And his stash is dope too.
never lost. Are you talking about the Stone Cold Steve Austin?
And even this haircut looks great.
Got it. Even if I'm not the biggest wrestling fan, I don't mind it. I don't hate on it. I'm just not into it. If my kids get into it, I'd get into it more. But Hulk Hogan on Rogan's fantastic.
Oh,
I'm not even into wrestling, but his stories.
I'm sure his stories
how
are
how Vince McMahon had the idea because I guess there's like territories in wrestling, especially back in the 80s. I think 80s, might be 70s, but there's like territories where they have their promotion and nobody else is allowed to cross that territory. And Vince McMahon told Hulk Hogan's like, we want this thing nationwide. We're gonna go in those territories. Are you down? And Hulk Hogan's like, yeah, let's do it. What's the worst that could happen, dude? It got dicey. One of the promoters came with a gun, pulled a gun on Hulk Hogan. He was saying like the Dominican Republic, one dude cut the other dude's throat. Like it gets dark.
Cut his throat.
Yeah, dude.
Holy crap.
Yeah,
Well,
nuts.
yeah.
Then Hulk Hogan said he's had so many surgeries on his back. He used to be 6'7", now he's 6'4", because they've taken out so much of his
Discs or
vertebrae
something like that?
discs.
Holy crap.
You get definitely an appreciation for wrestling when you listen. Like, oh yeah. Like when
Yeah.
people say it's fake, yeah, it's
scripted, yeah.
it's
for
pretty
sure.
scripted, but as far as the actual physical
toll, yeah,
nuts.
it's real. Yeah, the dude Logan Paul, how many MCL, ACL, something issues he had?
He's been wrestling for like 2 weeks.
I know.
He already blew out his
got
ACL and
jacked
MCL.
up. I'm pretty sure he did.
Dude, we're talking about some real WWE stuff here, Chin. You bring up Logan Paul. It's the only guy you could think of, huh?
Yeah.
Out of all the guys?
Because it's current, man.
Yeah, I guess, man. Yeah, he's impressive what he's doing.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know technical WWE wrestling, but I assume it's good. I see him doing backflips. They keep booking him.
He looked amazing. His acrobatics.
We
or
don't know
whatever it
wrestling,
is.
though, right?
But I saw him jump off the ropes and then slam into a table on the guy. It looked impressive to me.
Yeah, I mean, I see singers on Instagram like, that guy can sing. If I show you, you're like, that guy can't sing. You know, it's like, that's what, let's talk about WWE right now. I mean, I guess he did a flip. That's good.
Yeah. All right. I don't know.
Yeah, we
that
don't know.
but it looked cool to me.
It's the only guy
That's
you can
all I'm
name.
saying.
Name another guy.
Hulk Hogan.
Name one more.
Roddy Piper. Back in the day.
All right.
Because of Ronda Rousey.
There you go.
Oh, wait. So there is a current event about Ronda Rousey. So I guess someone asked Dana White again about Ronda Rousey. He's like, no, it's not happening for sure. Even though she's not in the WWE anymore. She won the championship. But then the person that wrote the article said, when's the last time has Dana White ever lied about something like this before, about a big superstar coming back?
And he was asking a serious question?
No, the writer of the article said like...
It was like, does he know the UFC? Is he saying, why would Dana lie to us? He's never done this before?
That's
what
joking.
Dana
He's
does.
basically joking like,
oh, gotcha.
Would he lie to us? Of course he would lie to us.
I'll say this. I have on good authority.
Mm-hmm.
They offered Ronda Rousey more money than you can imagine to come back, and she said no.
Oh, crap. So there were talks.
It's not a... Yeah, and it's like the guy that can't get the hot girl. Like, dude, she's ugly. Okay, that's what Dana's like. No, dude, we never offered her. She's not fighting. Now, maybe Dana didn't do the deal. I'm not saying Dana offered it. From what I know, they offered more money than God, and she's like, I'm good. Ronda's very smart. Has other businesses, her farms, her houses. Like, she doesn't need to do any of it. She said no.
Well,
But I heard they
great
offered
for her,
her
man.
more money than God to come back and fight, and she said no.
I mean, that would be massive if she actually came back.
I think she beats Pena. Damn, Chin took a gas.
I did.
Cherish that, dude.
I knew it as soon as it cherished.
said
I'm like,
cherish?
damn it.
You got soft on us, Doug.
A little bit. Here's a quick one. So Stephen Thompson, you know how Dana White said that Dana offered Ian Gary, Stephen Thompson, or offered Stephen Thompson, Ian Gary, and then he denied it right away because Stephen Thompson
want a
wants
full camp.
He wants a full camp.
He was like, I'm down to fight those guys, the Ian Garys.
And he's done it.
The Jack, the
Della
JDMs.
Maddalena?
Yeah. He was like, I'm down to fight any of those guys. I just want a full camp.
Yeah.
That's
And
what
he's
he
done
told him.
Bilal. He's done it before.
He's done it before. He's 40 now. He loses another one. It gets tough for him to make a run at the title, which is what he wants. That's why I said for Kamaru to call me out, let's do it. I'm in 100%.
Which
That's
is a tough
different.
ass fight, yeah.
It's a very tough fight.
Which makes him look even
Wonder
cooler.
Boy Kamaru would be a fun fight. But he said he's down. I wonder what the UFC is going to do because Kamaru, he has enough leverage where he could call his shots and fight a Wonder Boy. I wonder what the UFC is going to do because Ian Gary, Wonder Boy makes a lot of sense, especially – let's just call it. This is no shade on anybody that I'm going to mention here. But let's say you own a business. How many more fights does Kamaru have, you think? 2. How much more of a run does Wonderboy have?
Maybe
Not a
2.
lot. Maybe 2. So you're like 2-2. How many more fights does Ian Gary have? How many more fights does Jack have? So if I'm the UFC, I mean, depending on what you want to do there, you know, I don't, you know, Kamaru and Wonderboys have their run. They've had their time. I'm probably going to invest in the Ian Garys of the world and the JDMs of the world. I'm going to go, no. Wonderboy, cool. You're not fighting Kamaru. You two older guys aren't fighting. We need to build up the younger crop. Ian Gary's the next guy. Wonderboy, Ian Gary, that's the fight. You know? That'd be the fight. That's what I would do. As a business. Now, as far as what I would love to see Kamaru and Wonderboy fight. I love both those guys. That'd be a phenomenal fight. But if I own the business, I'm doing Ian Gary and Wonderboy. I think Ian Gary beats Wonderboy. I think Ian Gary beats Kamaru.
Damn.
That's how high I am on Ian Gary. That was a hot take because Casey just wrote it down. He's all.
He's got
Highlights it. Dumbass. Check this out, dumbass.
So if you're the UFC, you give him the time to do his full training camp then, right?
I say, cool. You'll fight Ian Gary on a full camp. Here's Ian Gary in December.
Yeah, that'd be great.
I'm all in on Ian Gary from the UFC. You got to build your next star. Wonderboy's the stars rocket as high as it can. Kamaru as high as it can. Now it's time to put that rocket ship on Ian Gary. Off the names of these guys. That's the UFC model, not mine. I'm not hating on anybody here. Not throwing shade at anybody. I'm saying from a business standpoint, I would protect Ian Gary.
Yeah.
By protect him, I mean give him Wonderboy, which is an easy fight, but I think he beats him. Give him Kamaru Usman next. You two are going to fight each other? No. So our plan is Wonderboy, you're going to fight Ian Gary now, then Kamaru, you're going to fight him after he wins that.
Yeah, beats big names, then there he goes.
Yep, that's the formula.
All right, this is about more of a, I don't know. It's still MMA related, but more like, anyway. So Sean O'Malley was on Bradley Martin's podcast, but it was at Sean O'Malley's studio, I believe. And then he was talking about how he's like a king, and I think him and his girl do have sort of an open relationship.
They do.
But the girl
He said it many
probably,
times.
yeah, but the girl probably doesn't really obviously like it that much. So he said that he's a king and he pays for everything, so he should be able to do this and that, have an open relationship, have sex every now and then with another woman. And the reason why I bring this up is because Vitor Belfort came at him hard after that statement. And I'll show you what Vitor wrote here.
I mean, if my wife looked like Vitor's, I'd be saying the same thing. You ever seen her?
She's
Dime. This is Vitor talking here. Reading this deeply saddened me. It's disheartening to see that many professionals end up with multiple ex-wives due to such behaviors. Well, it's not his wife. You serve as a negative role model for this generation. There's something.
If it's an open relationship, I don't see the problem with it. You know what I'm saying? If he's straight up just like,
I don't see why coming out talking about it.
oh, why he does?
I don't see the
I don't
benefits.
know either. Yeah, I don't know why he would do that.
Maybe just
Especially
get more chicks.
I don't think that matters actually. If
Yeah.
yeah.
You serve as a negative role model for this generation. I genuinely hope that one day you reflect upon your change. This is terrible behavior. I don't mind it. The issue is when you have kids. When there's kids involved, it gets a little dicey when you do that stuff. But who knows? If that's their agreement, who cares? That's
if
my
it's
other
their
thing.
agreement, then
Here's
that's
my
fine,
other thing. Does it matter? Who cares? If his agreement with his girl is open relationship, even though they have a kiddo, and it's working for them, do you, man?
It
I had a
like
buddy who
that's
had
the case.
5 girlfriends.
Yeah.
And it was a nightmare. There's a reason why you don't do that. Unless you're Hugh Hefner, and that didn't end well.
No.
They're canceling that guy left and right, even though he's dead. They're still canceling him. It just never works out.
would never
Do you know
work.
anybody in the history of mankind who did an open relationship where they've had multiple wives or girlfriends? The homeboy who has the show on freaking what channel on
TLC or
TLC?
something like that. Yeah.
The show used to be all about them and the sister wives and all that and the kids, and they had 4 houses all next door to each other, so he just jumped from one house to one house. You know what the show is now? Them getting divorced, them hating him. The whole show's.
I just don't see how it works.
I don't see how it's tough enough with one,
dude.
Let alone imagine 5. Bro, you're not Phil Jackson. You can't handle all these. You can't handle all these freaking personalities. That guy with a long, wet Jerry curl Mormon, that's not going to work out, dude. Has to be confusing for the kids, too. I realized that man who lacks respect for his wife and mother of his children can never be a good father. Remember, Vitor is also very religious, so it's clearly frowned upon. But also, who lacks respect for his wife and mother? I don't know if it's a lack of respect. He's young. These young kids are wild. It's what they do. If she's cool with it, who knows? If it works for them, again, at the end of the day, who cares?
It's their relationship. If it works for them, who cares?
But also, here's with a caveat. I would love to punch your ugly face in boxing match.
There you go.
That's why he's doing it. That's never happening. Your Uncle Dana White will never let be possible, but all the women would purchase the pay-per-view to see the whooping that I will give you. Hashtag disappointed. Hashtag role model. Hashtag I still use hashtags.
Fatherhood and respect. I don't know. It was just an interesting.
But also, he's an older dude, religious dude. Like to him, this is insane to talk about it. You know how many fighters or entertainers you know in open marriages or open relationships?
Yeah.
It's weird that this is a thing. Like, who cares? If that works for Suga and his girl's cool with it, I don't get why you guys have any interest in this. I never understood that. The Will Smith and Jada Pinkett whole thing, okay. It worked for you guys. You've been together for 30 years, and that worked for you, okay. That would be like being upset that they have pizza every Thursday night. Okay, I don't care. Who gives a crap? That's what works for you, okay. And you're not forcing on me, okay. I don't get why we care. Because it's different than what we do, okay. And how's it going with what you're doing? Everything's okie dokie in your world? Worry about yourself. Okay. I don't care.
I hear. And to your point, the whole like just making it public, even the Jada Pinkett, Will Smith stuff, like that's fine. If you want to do that, go ahead. But making it public, like
I don't get why make it public.
Weird.
Like
yeah.
I don't get the benefit of that.
There's no
benefit. So more people want to do it to make it the norm.
I don't know.
Why do you care? That's not your job. But Suga's thing, I mean, granted now Suga has a podcast, and one of the reasons we love him is he's open and honest about this stuff. Cool. I just don't see the upside. Maybe again, more chicks. I don't see why you'd go public with this.
Yeah.
Especially when a kiddo's involved. Your kiddo's gonna be able to hear this stuff.
Kid's gonna feel bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, moving on. So Alejandro Pantoja, apparently he and Sean O'Malley used to spar way back in the day, right? And then Pantoja just called out O'Malley on his Instagram story.
Again, this is the thing to do. I doubt Pantoja really wants this, but okay. If I have something that's making me want to go to bantamweight, it's this guy. He talks too much. He talks a lot of smack. If you know about this guy, he recorded my sparring with him and he never sent to me. You know why? Yeah.
So he's insinuating that he did better in sparring, but then O'Malley called him out and said, like, if you want, I have the footage. I knocked him out in the first round.
Oh, wow.
So if you want me to put it out there, I will. But then O'Malley also admitted that he was sparring a lot of people before he got to Pantoja, so he was super tired, and the third round, Pantoja did choke him out. But so, yeah.
I'm
O'Malley
confused, though. So he knocked him out in the first round, and they kept going?
Third round. Yeah.
Hold up. He got knocked out, and the coach was like, get up, man.
Apparently.
Here's some water. Get back in there. It's bad coaching.
I mean, yeah. So there's a little beef there going on, but
this is also old. Like again, Real Housewives of the Ultimate Fighting Championship here. I mean, does he forget how it played out? I will say in the third round he choked me, but dude, I was like 1-0 or 2-0 as a pro. He's coming off the Ultimate Fighter, make his UFC debut. 2 weeks out from his UFC debut, I was effing smoking joints the night before, just like not expecting. Henry Cejudo and him roll into the gym, write my name down for 2 rounds. So I'm going to have to spar this dude 2 rounds in a row, not in camp, not in shape, finish him in the first round. They're effing pissed. Spar him again in the second round. I'm 100% gassed out from already whooping his butt. O'Malley continues. Henry's yelling, we want him for 3. We want him for 3 in the video. I'm not sure if you can hear it, but maybe you can. Henry was saying, hold off on the punches. Like he said, I was punching him too hard. Ben Henderson in the corner for the second and third round, yelling, they don't come into this gym. We don't get effing tired, and I gassed the F out. So he does choke me out in the third. This has got to be 2015. This is a long time ago. Yeah, I don't care. From 2015?
Yeah, super long time ago.
We're talking about two different. I mean, Suga had one fight. Also, we're talking about sparring. We're talking about practice. They're both champs now. Pantoja has more work to do at
flyweight.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, and this is the thing to do. Call out the guys.
Mm-hmm. So Tony Ferguson posted this recently that he's not done fighting, and that's his post right here.
He uses so many hashtags,
and he does like capital letters for each word, which it must be exhausting.
Not done fighting. That takes a lot of time to do.
Yeah, it does.
Because you have to go back, erase, capitalize.
Yeah.
Not done fighting, champ. CSO. Then
champ shit only.
A lot of emojis, a lot of hashtags when he tweets. Thanks to my box coach trainer Marvin for getting me right. Hashtag lacing up my favorite ones. Emoji. Hashtag F your retiramental. Emoji. Hashtag casuals.
And so since this post, Josh Thomson, I can play. So this is on his Instagram, so I think we're good to go.
We should be.
All right, so let me just play what he said. This is Josh Thomson basically pleading with Ferguson to retire.
Let me see it. I heard he gets choked up.
A little emotional, yeah.
Why?
It's a little emotional. It's a little fucked up, but I care for the guy. I care for all these fighters. Well, I had a nice long look in the mirror with myself after I lost to him. You need to figure out what you want to do in life because it's coming to an end real quick. I didn't think it was coming to an end. Just went the distance and a split decision loss to Benson Henderson, who was the champ for a long time. Then lost a very narrow split decision loss to Bobby Green, who I should have lost to. I was out there fucking lollygagging. Then I got destroyed by Tony Ferguson. And I'm saying this directly to Tony, is that you're gonna notice things in your brain, you're gonna notice things in the way you talk to people, the way you talk to your wife, the way you talk to your kids, the way you handle yourself. You need to have a reality check. I can't even explain it. You have to understand how to reel it in.
Well, you're explaining
the one in
it.
charge of your mentality and your body language and the words that come out of your mouth that can affect your relationships with everyone. I've had these conversations with myself a lot. There's times when words come out of your mouth and you don't realize it. And so I get nervous for him watching him take these L's. I become a little emotional. It's a little fucked up, but I care for the guy. I care.
He's like speaking from the heart. You could tell too. Like,
yeah,
he's dealing. He must be dealing with his own stuff as well.
Yeah,
that's what I'm
gotta
taking
cherish
from it.
those moments. Yeah, I think the toughest thing for a guy like Tony, who's an absolute warrior, you're talking about like apocalypto vibe, like a guy who is born to fight. It's tough for them to walk away. It's just what they love. They love nothing more, even more so than their family, is fighting. It's just what they do. It's what they're known for. It's what they subscribe to. It's all that they know, and it's tough to walk away. But Josh isn't saying anything we're not all thinking. Shout out to Josh Thomson. And he's going to take some heat from it. Tony's never going to probably do his podcast, or, if he sees him, he might, who knows what he's going to do. So it's shout out to Josh for doing that. It takes a lot of balls to do that, but these guys are going to do what they want to do. I really think it's up to the UFC. It's on them. They should have some sort of structure in their business plan where if a guy is starting to tail off, they don't offer him any more fights. Because would Tony want to fight if it was in the UFC? If it was in Bellator and on the PFL? Let's say a commission goes, this guy's too compromised, can't fight in the majors. Because other sports do this. Nope, compromise, not playing in the majors. Would Tony do this in, a Ring of Fire, LFA? Is he still down? Does he like to fight that much where he doesn't care if it's not on the big show? I think there has to be some sort of commission needs to come and go. No more. You've lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in a row. Think about that. In 2019, Tony Ferguson's record was 25-3.
Damn.
Now he's 25-9.
Yeah, that's a tough drop off, man.
Tough. Very tough.
Something happened for sure.
I mean, it just, when something happened, he just got older. He has freaking over 35 fights. That's what happened. Mm-hmm. He catches up with it. Doesn't matter who you are. It's a bummer. It sucks to see, but this is just what we sign up for,
Yep. Okay. So Junior Dos Santos, we saw pictures of him on the last episodes, how jacked he is now. So he was talking to Morning Combat, which is, Brian Campbell, Luke Thomas.
Love those guys.
Yeah, they're funny. And then, so it's funny how he says this to them. So he's like, I'm putting in great work right now. We're not going through USADA. It's been great because I can take my pre-workouts. I can take my burning fat. My burning fat. I could take all the supplements that I couldn't before because of USADA.
He's basically saying that he can take steroids, but he's saying that my pre-workouts, my burning fat pills, and take all the supplements I couldn't before. You mean steroids, bud? And right, hell yeah, dude. That's what I love it. It's like the Pride days. Produce some of the best fights of all time. There's nothing better than peak Pride days. And this is what our boy Jorge Masvidal is bringing back. Now, it's bare knuckle MMA. It's going to be brutal in a great way.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. So this is kind of cool. So Michael Venom Page was on Freestyle Bender, which is Adesanya's YouTube page. But then I guess his Adesanya's brother is the one that interviewed him on that YouTube page. So he's saying like he's definitely down to be in the UFC, obviously. And he says if he gets in the UFC, he wants no less than a top 5, top 10 opponent.
Rightfully so,
like Michael Chandler.
Yeah, UFC's going to do that.
Yeah.
They're not going to let you coast through. But he still hasn't signed with the UFC, right?
No, I think they must be in like conversations, negotiations.
He says, can I see myself there 100% regards to joining the UFC? They said this on Freestyle Bender's YouTube page. Great content there, by the way.
Yep.
I want a top 5, top 10 max. I don't feel like I need to prove myself over again. Agree 100%. I just wanted to go in there, and we've seen it with Michael Chandler. He went in there, fought a top 10. Dan Hooker, great first win for him that just sprung him into the title contention. That is the route I see myself in. I don't see any other way. I don't need a warm-up fight. It's not like I've been out of the game for ages. I'm ready to go now. Agree 100%.
Yeah, and that division right now, like, there's so many fun fights for him.
I got one.
Yeah.
Ian Gary.
There you go.
Ian Gary,
dude,
Michael Venom Page.
That would be perfect. Dude, right there. That would be perfect.
Boom. Ian's, 11, so just outside the 10, but he's really a top 5 guy probably.
I mean, his name alone, I'm sure he'll take that fight.
Yeah,
MVP would definitely take that fight. That'd be sick. Hell yeah.
Do it in Dublin.
That would be awesome. Also, this was interesting too. So Max Holloway was on Flagrant with Andrew Schultz.
Uh-huh.
And then he was saying like, because Max has never been dropped, right?
Never.
Yeah, in the UFC. So he was saying the one time he was actually rocked was by, of all people, Andre Fili.
Oh, interesting.
Andre Fili
used to be a beast back in the day.
Yeah, he's still awesome, but yeah.
So Andre Fili fight, Max always said on the Flagrant podcast, can I say a lot of people would watch and be like, Dustin Poirier fight. Second Dustin Poirier fight, it was like he never got dropped, but I hear people say the fence saved him because I was going back. But like, okay, we were talking about make believe. Okay, let's effing make believe. And my wings came out. We were talking about make believe land. The cage is there for a reason. I knew I get hit, and I knew the cage was going to have my back sooner or later. With Andre Fili, I remember getting hit one time. He cracked me with something. I don't even know what he hit me with. I was looking at the scoreboard. It was in Baltimore, and I was looking at the time. I was thinking, what the hell am I doing right now? I was looking at the time. Why am I looking at the time? I should be looking at this guy. That was probably one of the fewest times ever. Interesting.
Yeah, so, of all people, Andre Fili.
Wow, would you guess that?
I would have
Fili's a
guessed.
beast.
He's awesome, yeah, for sure. But I wouldn't guess that for the hardest hitter because he's faced some hard-ass hitters.
Yeah, sometimes it just depends where it lands.
Yeah.
The Korean Zombie landed a good left hook, and I was like, yeah, that should wobble him. Nope.
Yeah. This is just a quick video. I just saw Chris DiStefano at PFL.
What?
Saw this?
Hey, what's up? It's Chris DiStefano. I'm here for my very first PFL event. I'm loving it. Don't tell my mom.
All your boys are getting into like MMA.
I mean, listen, it's no credit to me. It's Rogan. He's a guy that was the first ever to mix, obviously mixed martial arts and comedy. So I think it's guys just following suit. Okay. I mean, you look at if you look at Schultz, 4 years ago, he never had an MMA. He never talked MMA. Didn't have an MMA guy on.
Yeah.
Now he has, the guys on. Chrissy D. You got freaking all.
Even Theo started having MMA guys on. I think it's because of you, dude. You say Rogan, but I'm pretty sure it's because of you. You're the actual MMA guy. You were actually in MMA.
Yeah, Theo for sure. Obviously, me and Theo are very close, so Theo got into MMA. Theo's posts, man, just still drive me nuts.
This is Twitter things.
Yeah.
You see, yeah. Here's a quick one. This is a little weird, but I guess this is after 292. So Andre
Petrosky's our boy. What a hater, though. Apprehends a man who was attempting to mass.
Wait. There's a reason why.
Is there kids?
Yes. They said him
Now
and his
he's a hero.
team.
Now he's a hero.
Yeah. So him and his team were seeing this guy apparently masturbating while there was kids present, and I guess the guy was masturbating because of the kids.
Oh,
present.
no.
So they stopped him immediately and called the
beat that
police.
guy. Okay. I thought, before I had any context here, I thought some dude just trying to get his rocks off. It's 2 a.m.
Stressed out,
driving through Nebraska. Yep. He's trying to bust a nut before he gets back on this 8-hour drive to Missouri. And they stopped him from masturbating. That's not the case here. This guy was getting off to kids. They should have killed him.
Yeah, who knows?
Little backstory here. We caught this man masturbating to children in the bathroom. Good God. It turned out he took an Uber to the service area on this turnpike to do this. Worst part, he admitted doing this frequently. It's sad that he will get away with this, but hopefully we're able to inspire more people to stand up and take action. Let me see the video.
Oh, we can't see the video. By the way, the video sucks. It's just basically him being talked to by the guys. The guys are cussing.
Is the guy's wiener
the
still
cops
out?
are there. No. There's nothing about the actual masturbation part. It's just like the ending part.
Oh, I was hoping that he was like hunched over, jacking it, and then Andre just double legs him from behind.
Can you imagine they caught him in the act? That'd be crazy.
That'd be sick.
Here's another thing. This is breaking apparently. So Dana White is offering $2,500 for someone to find out who this guy is that tried to break into his house.
If you're Dana though, $2,500. That's like when The Rock gave his camera too. That's like when The Rock gave his body double F-150. $2,500.
Here's
Dana White.
Here's the video. So just kicking the door, trying to kick the door in, and then he hits the camera and basically falls down.
Runs off.
So
this F-face just tried to kick my front door in Maine. I will pay $2 to the first person to let the police know where he is.
Yeah.
I'm sure someone's going to be like, I could use that $2,500 and rat this dude out. It's in Maine, though, you know?
Mm-hmm. Levant, Maine.
They'll find him. I bet it's nice out there. I bet Dana goes there in the summer. Oof, I bet that's nice. Have you been to Maine?
Yeah.
Is it nice?
Awesome.
Oh, I'd love to go.
Great golf?
I haven't played golf out there.
Oh.
But just the
goodness.
nature.
Yeah,
Is it like the Montana of the East Coast?
Yeah.
Oof, sign me up. Winters suck, though, yeah? That's like Montana.
Well, that's pretty much it for current events.
That's it?
Yeah, we just got one fight, I guess, this weekend.
You had a fight night this weekend. It's at 12 Pacific, 12 in the afternoon. Problem with this UFC Paris card, it's actually a really good fight night. It's a great fight night. And at noon, how could you be mad at it? They're competing with the college football, though. My CU Buffs play at 9 a.m. Pacific time, baby. TCU. You also got Ohio State playing. You got Tennessee, Alabama. You got so many good games going down and bet with DraftKings promo code Schaub Show. UFC Paris, you have going down. Your main event, you got Cyril Gane versus Sergey Spivak. You got, how do you pronounce her name? Fiorot?
Manon Fiorot, I believe.
Fiorot?
Yeah, I believe.
The T is silent?
I do believe it's silent.
They're saying Pan or Pam? Fiorot and Rose is going down. Rose went up a weight class. Her first fight at flyweight. Didn't do her any favors. This is a tough fight for Rose. She's also an underdog in this, which is interesting, right? She's a dog in this fight.
Let's see here.
She's a minus 185. She's gone up.
So, yeah, Manon Fiorot is
so Rose is plus 154. So just for you non-bettors out there, if you bet 100, you win $154. If you bet 200, you win $308.
My math is already lost.
Yeah, 208. Yeah, that's right. But overall, it's a good card. You got some youngsters on there. See what's popping here. Yeah, in the main event. Here's the thing with Cyril Gane and Sergey Spivak. Obviously, it's a battle of styles, clash of styles. Cyril wants to sit on the outside, pick him apart. Clearly, best footwork in the game. And then with Spivak, he's going to want to get in tight, get him against the cage, and look for takedowns, whether submission or TKO. Easier said than done against a guy like Sergey, unless your name's Jon Jones. The only caveat here is any guy that's ever tried to take Ciryl Gane down has been successful. Francis Ngannou, Jon Jones. Also, Ciryl Gane's also coming off that horrendous loss to Jon Jones where he's embarrassed and for the heavyweight title. And it's also in his backyard in Paris. A lot of pressure on Ciryl Gane. He's never been manhandled like that, like Jon Jones. Even the Francis fight, that was a decision. Don't get twisted. That was a decision. Jon Jones, that fight wasn't even remotely competitive. So we're going to find out a lot about Ciryl Gane. Is he going to be still a contender? Is he going to be a pretender? Because if he loses Spivak, this road's over. This journey's over. I think Ciryl gets it done. Cyril's a slight favorite. I can see why people want to bet on Spivak on this. You're assuming that Ciryl Gane's jiu-jitsu and grappling is that terrible. That's my French. Terrible. But I think Ciryl Gane's going to show up and show out. I think he gets it done via TKO in the third round. Rose is a tough one. Rose, she's been gone a hot second. She's going up a weight class. It's not like she was big for the other weight class. She's coming off a split loss decision to Carla Esparza. But remember, this is the same Rose that beat Zhang Weili, who everybody wants to suck on her titties right now. But everyone's so high on Zhang is all I'm saying, dude. Everyone wants to suck them tits. So for Weili, she's the pound for pound GOAT, right? Rose beat her twice. One was a walk-off KO head kick in the first round. That being said, Weili has gotten so much better since 2021. It's insane how good her grappling's got. It's insane from those days. She's so damn good. Maybe it's my bias. I want to lean towards Rose, but they're not doing any favors here at all. Fior is bigger. She's good at everything. She's big for the weight class. Rose is coming up. Rose, it's always depending where her mental game is at. She talked about retiring, talked about not retiring. Yeah, look at Fiore's record, dog.
Insane.
She hasn't lost since 2018. She's undefeated in the UFC. I wonder why they're doing this to Rose.
I think didn't Rose want to go up though? That's her thing.
No, she wanted to go up, but you got to give her. Can she get her beak wet?
Yeah.
You can give her this girl who's undefeated in the UFC, 10-1. The good thing is maybe they're doing it because she plays it. She wins by decisions. She's a decision girl. You know what? I'm gonna take Rose. I'm gonna take Rose as the dog. I'll take Rose as the dog. Your surefire fight that's going to end in a KO would be the third fight on the main card, Ozdemir and Gustav. That's a fun one. Again, this thing's not going to blow your hair back, but for a fight night, it's pretty good.
3 fights for sure I want to see.
Sure.
Yeah.
At least next week, you got Saturday, you have UFC pay-per-view, Australia, and we're doing a fight command with Mr. Joe Rogan. No Eddie Bravo. Eddie Bravo's going to be in Japan, so we sent out the bat signal, and we got Sam Tripoli. So you got Joe Rogan, Sam Tripoli, Brian the Kid Callen, and myself. That is next Saturday for Izzy versus Sean Strickland, which we will break down next week, UFC 293. That card's not great either. For a pay-per-view, that thing is terrible. Let's be completely transparent here.
Top 2 look good. Oh, the Taffa brother, Justin,
Austin Lane, that's a rematch. Yep. Pedro never mad at. Olberg never mad at. Jack Jenkins not mad at. Malarkey, one of my faves. Okay.
It's not bad.
It's not bad. I'm just compared to the last pay-per-views, that's all it is.
Yeah.
But in Australia, like, Izzy's on there. Shut your mouth. You're like, yeah, you're fair enough. Izzy Sean Strickland's a fascinating fight.
Do you give Strickland any chance at all?
I do, because Sean Strickland, he's so tough to put away. Couldn't be a worse matchup for him. I'm done with the days of just being like, oh, this is an easy Izzy win. Like, with the Suga and Sterling Aljo, I was like, this is a nightmare for Suga.
Yeah.
But these guys, there's just something about them where that's their time, that's their moment, that's their rise into superstardom, and it's just Suga's time. So it's like, on paper, there's no reason Suga should win this fight. I'm sorry. There's no reason why Sean Strickland should win this fight. There's just not. He gets it done with cardio, his pace, his volume. He's not a knockout artist. He's not the most technical guy, but that's his thing. Pacing, boxing. He does the Philly, shell. His hands are low. He's not great at leg kicks. When he did go against elite striker, he got absolutely starched in Alex Pereira. So all markers indicate Izzy's going to absolutely destroy him. It's MMA. That's why this is a worse sport to make picks and put your money on this sport. It's insane. So who knows? But Izzy should win. Izzy's, to me, the greatest we've seen. So especially coming off the Alex Pereira fight. Also, the UFC didn't want to book this fight, and Izzy tell him, book it, I'm going to take care of this guy. There's a lot of confidence in Izzy, too, so you never know. Also, we haven't really seen Sean Strickland grapple. Bisping's worked with him, says the dude can grapple his ass off. We just don't see it. And I assume Sean Strickland, now I'm breaking this fight down, but I'm assuming Sean Strickland learned from the Alex Pereira fight and isn't going to play those games with Izzy.
Yeah.
Who knows? Strickland's a madman. I'm excited for the press conference.
Yeah. Who knows what the hell he's going to say. By the way, we didn't actually talk about this, right? The Pereira and Anthony Smith, or did we?
I alluded to a little bit how Pierre was mad at Anthony Smith. This is the issue though. Pierre he gets mad at a lot of these people like me and stuff like that. Me and him had an issue. Hey man, know your background. But with come on, Doug. But with Pierre, to get mad at Anthony Smith, remember he's a analyst.
Yeah. And he was actually, when I heard him talk
me
about
too.
Pierre,
he was like, yeah, the guy is technical,
great striker,
great striker. So, but maybe he needs that fuel to get him going, So I don't put too much into it. I just don't get why he pays attention to this stuff. Like Anthony Smith, he is the actual commentator. Do you get mad at Rogan if they say anything that's not super complimentary? Do you get mad at DC? Like that's literally their job. Now, maybe for Anthony it's different because he's currently fighting in the same division, but that fight's not next for Alex. Now, if Anthony wins one more and Alex wins, against Yuri, Anthony could get it done, and there's a story here, so maybe that's why he's doing it. I don't know. But I don't get why they get mad when a guy's literally paid to comment on fighting, and you get mad when he comments on fighting.
It didn't say anything terrible.
It wasn't bad at all. Yeah. So it's a reach there. Is that it?
That's pretty much it, dude.
All right, kids. First live one in the books. A few stand-up dates for you. Covina, California. Covina is next Friday. One night only, 2 shows. Brian Kelly and myself, we're back together for the first time ever, co-headlining Covina, California. Covina Laugh Factory. It's a little theater out there in Covina, one of my favorite venues. That's September 8th. That's next Friday. 2 shows, I think 7 and 9:45. Me and Brian together, because that Saturday, September 9th, we'll be in Austin, Texas, doing a JRE live for Izzy vs. Strickland. Spokane, Washington, again, one of my favorite clubs. Spokane, Washington, September 21st through the 23rd. Then I'm in Vegas at Skankfest, September 29th through October 1st. I'm doing a million shows there, so just look for it. Then we just added Iowa, Dubuque, Iowa, October 13th through 14th. That's one show Friday, one show Saturday. Then Niagara Falls. And then Chicago just announced December 8th and 9th. That's 2 shows Friday, 2 shows Saturday. That's in Chicago. But Covina, I'll see you next week. And then it's Spokane, one of my favorite clubs. Spokane, come get you some September 21st through September 23rd. Tickets at thiccboy.com. That's it. We live. Thank you for watching, subscribing, leave a comment, do your thing, share, post. Appreciate you guys. Every Monday we will be live at 9 a.m. moving forward. So thank you guys for tuning in. Thanks for the support. Thanks for watching. Be nice to each other. Till next time, I'm out.